If anyone wishes to sing a bhajan, it's free to do so. Leela.
वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय। श्री राम कुमार और on behalf of the Maharaj family, we say welcome to each and everyone. Let me say welcome to my cousin Panajit, who made sure that you all were chanting while I was on my way from Puja. Today we have come to say farewell to not a good soul, but a great soul. An individual who, some will say, why is Pandit saying a great soul? I never seen him in the temple. I never seen him in the morning offering jal, and he's saying a great soul. But we are judged not by the places that we go, or who we pretend to be, but rather who we are. And an individual is judged by not man, but by God. So this is why the scriptures say we must not judge, because we do not know the heart of individuals. And I will explain a couple things to you. Before we do that, we pray to Bhagavan Sri Krishna in a bhajan that was a favorite of my Mamu, my Dado, we call him Mamu. And it asks for that Lord to be compassionate upon that soul and to bless that soul, to accept that soul back to his kingdom, to be one with him once again. So we pray. Shri Krishna Chandra Maharaj Prabhu Vinati Prahi Suniye Suniye Shri Krishna Chandra Maharaj Prabhu Vinati Prahi Suniye Suniye. It says, O Lord Krishna, O great king descended from the moon, from the Chandra dynasty. Without you, who will hear my flame? Says, Jinke kuch hai avalamban nahi, Jinke kuch hai avalamban nahi, Tinke charanam rakhiye rakhiye, Isake अवगुण बहुतेरी है, इसके अवगुण बहुतेरी है, यही बार क्षमा करिए करिए। श्री कृष्ण चंद्र महाराज प्रभु विनती करी सुनिए सुनिए। The one who is without your support and shelter has nothing. That Lord is Jivan ki avalamban. He is that prop. He is that shelter upon which we all, when the storms of life is battering down upon us and we feel like we are drowning in this world, He is that support. He is the pillar that holds up the house. The pillar holds up the house. He is the pillar that holds up the universe. Each one of us, Jivan ki avalamban. That Lord, He takes care of us. Says, we surrender to your feet. Protect us, O Lord, protect us. Even though we may have faults and vices in abundance. Even though we may have faults and vices in abundance. So here, the person who is making a prayer, he's not saying I'm a saint. He's not saying I'm a pandit, I'm a sadhu. He's saying in abundance we have faults and discrepancies, but that does not mean, Lord, that I cannot pray to you and I cannot ask your forgiveness for your shelter. We will still beg of you everything. We commit mistakes. Forgive us, dear Lord. Shama Kijiye, forgive us. दीन दयाल पिता तुम्हारी, दीन दयाल पिता तुम्हारी, निज धाम इसको चाहिए चाहिए, निज धाम इसको चाहिए चाहिए, मोक्ष दया बिन होता नहीं, मोक्ष दया बिन होता नहीं, चाहे कोटि प्रबंध करिए करिए, चाहे कोटि प्रबंध करिए करिए. You are the kind Father who bestows compassion on the unfortunate and the downtrodden. You are that real and final abode. All I desire and wish for is to come to you, O Lord. It is only through your mercy, through your daya compassion, that we can attain salvation or moksha. Grant us our wish to become one with you for eternity. Bhav sagar dhara bahut gari, bhav sagar dhara bahut gari, koi naav wahan chahiye chahiye, koi naav wahan chahiye chahiye, siya Ram ke naam ka naav bana, सिया राम के नाम का नाव बना, बिना परिश्रम तरिए तरिए, बिना परिश्रम तरिए तरिए. श्री कृष्ण जन्म महाराज प्रभु विनती सुनिए सुनिए, ये मृतक जीवन के सुधारो गति, निज दास बंधा गनिए गनिए, कोई भ्रात तुम्हार करे विनती, कोई भ्रात तुम्हार करे विनती, उदया भगवान करिए करिए, उदया भगवान करिए करिए. श्री कृष्ण चंद्र महाराज प्रभु विनती कही, सुनिए सुनिए, विनती कही सुनिए. The final line says, it is only through your mercy that we can attain salvation. Grant us our wish to become one with you for eternity. The current across the ocean of birth and death is very strong. It is deep, it is cruel. We need someone to ferry the boat. You are Bhav Sagar ke Malla, you are the boatman over the ocean of life. May you take us across. Who else but you? You know, there is a beautiful bhajan that says, that Lord, I come knocking at your door. The world will turn me away. I have no problem with that. But Lord, if you turn me away, then to whom will I go? Kahan jaऊं? शरण में अपने रख मुझको, शरण में अपने रख मुझको, दया में दास हूँ तेरा, तुम्हें तज कर कहाँ जाऊँ, तुम्हें तज कर कहाँ जाऊँ, तू कोई नहीं मेरा. I know no one else but you, O Lord. I know no one else but you. Therefore I come knocking at your door. Please answer my prayer. Listen to my vinity, my plea, my prayer to you, Lord. Though I have sinned, though I am not imperfect, though I am not perfect, though I have many imperfections, I come knocking at your door. This is why it is said, let no man judge. And this is why I begin by saying that we have come to say farewell to a great soul. Because I don't think anyone here would have said that Manu, as most of the nephews and nieces would call him. Although he's our Dada, but we'll say, Mamu. That he used to bad talk us, that he cheated us, that he stole from us, that he never tried to help us. We cannot say that. Why? Because although, as I said, we will have to beg him to come to the temple, and we'll book him some. I will book him sometime, sometime I forget he's the older one and I'm all of the public. Why? Behave yourself, straighten up your life, come to the temple and start giving yourself to God. But how do we give ourselves to God? By going to the temple, to the church, to the mosque? The answer is yes or no. Yes, because we need to serve our dharma through these institutions. We need to worship congregationally, it is more powerful. But most of all, we need to be thy brother's keeper and to see God in everyone. And when we see God in everyone, then we try to help each other and always have a smile to welcome each other, as Manu did. He lived a simple life, as I said. Most would not have understood him and wondered, what is this man doing with his life? But every morning he would go and look for his sister, not too far from him. And that was his way of serving God, by making sure that his family, his parivar, is taken care of. And as I was saying in Puja before I came here, at the end of the day, all we have is each other. All we have is family. No man is an island. We are gregarious by nature. We need each other. But society is becoming more selfish and more diverse and far from each other, that even brothers and sisters no longer speak to each other or come together to enjoy a meal or a little time together. We are being pushed apart by selfishness, by materialism, and by all the negatives of this world. But Dada is a person who all the family members will say, he always welcomed them with a smile. If you tell him what, he always smiled. If you tell him what, he always smiled. If I'm young and I go film after the chip, he's always smiling. Yes? And the legacy that we leave behind is what people will say, how we lived with them, how we share that family bond, that parivar, that brand, that strong bond, that show that we are there for each other. So today we have come to say farewell. Someone who has lived more past the 70 years, 10, but he has gone on the lucky 77. So past 10 by 7 years, and at 77. You say 7 is a lucky number. The time that he died, he didn't choose to die. Bhagwan decided the day, the time, the place, and the circumstances based on karma. 1 week before the sun moved in the northern direction, it is considered the most auspicious 6 months in the year. We celebrated the Makar Sankranti, and it is considered the most auspicious time. He died in that time. Normally when someone dies, we burst 5 kalsa. If the funeral falls in Panchak, or if they died in Panchak, Panchak will be next week. So we have no kalsa to burst. The month is an auspicious month. The day is an auspicious day. Today is Brihaspati. I was hoping the funeral would have been yesterday. I would have gone to work and gone to my puja at past 10. Right? And normal, but it so happened it had to be today because today is Guruvar. So I had to take the day off, do the puja, and then come here. Only what God wants, and only when He decides that something is going to be. So it is the most auspicious day of the week, Guruvar, the Brihaspati Var. What more could we ask? What more could we ask? As I said, past the 10 by 7 years. So when we look at all of these things and we take into consideration, my cousin Dave is here, and how many years now you went away here? 25 years? He still have here, but when he left, I had here. So that's how long. And he was supposed to come next month for Mamu's birthday. And the Lord says 25 years is enough. You will come 1 month before. You will not come when you will talk to each other, but you will come to have to do the final ceremony. And that is what God determined will take place. And we have to understand that the wish of the Lord is supreme. The wish of the Lord is supreme. We cannot determine what day, what time, what circumstances we are doing. Our karma will dictate that, and the Lord will put everything into play. So, we have a little ceremony to perform, and again, we have to understand that everything that we enjoy in this world, the company that we are in, the family that we are born in, all of these things is determined by one thing, and that is karma. I always say people want to, when you go to sleep in the night, you want to sleep on a nice, soft, comfortable mattress. Isn't that so? Is there anyone here who would want to sleep on a bed of nails? Nobody, right? Nobody will raise their hand, right? Because I'm able to make my point. Nobody will say that, I want to sleep on a bed of nails tonight. But yet still, rather than put things in place so that we'll have a nice, soft, comfortable bed to sleep in, we perform actions that will guarantee that we will have a bed of nails to sleep in. And then we shake our head, feel pachatane head in regret when things doesn't go our way, and we say, why God doing this to me? Why is God unkind to me? You are your best friend, and you, I, all of us, we are our worst enemy. You are your best friend, and you are your worst enemy. Nobody around you, no external forces, like some people blame another external force. No, we are our best friend, and we are our worst enemy. Because if you want to be happy in this world, there's a simple practice if you want to be happy. Guaranteed tool. If you want to be happy in this world, Sadhu, make others happy. And see your own happiness grow. Is that difficult? It is not difficult. If you want karma to work in your favor, then what do? You do the things that will benefit you, that will uplift you, and your family, and your ancestors. And when you leave this world, people will have nothing bad to say about you. Your legacy will be that which you have done. Tere karma kahani, tere atma bhi jani, paramatma bhi jani. Tere karma kahani, tere atma bhi jani, paramatma bhi jani. Kahe chute gare prani, prani re, prani re. Kahe chute gare prani, teri atma bhi jani, paramatma bhi jani. Teri karma kahani, teri atma bhi jani, paramatma bhi jani. Kitni ne pag juni पाप कमाया तू, इतने जपनों के बेर छुपाया तू, कितनी पग तूने पाप कमाया तू, इतने जपनों के बेर छुपाया तू, भले भूलेगी कहानी, प्राणी रे, प्राणी रे. कहे छूटे गाने प्राणी, तेरी आत्मा भी जानी, परमात्मा भी जानी, परमात्मा भी जानी, परमात्मा भी जानी. तेरी कर्म कहानी. The story of karma is simple. In the book of life, the first thing is written by our past karma, our past deeds. The Lord writes the first page, where you were born, when you will be born, in which family, whether healthy, whether sick, whether rich or poor. First day in the book of life. After that, the pages are blank. And the last day again is written there, which is subject to change. When, how, etc. when you will die, based on the last set of dates. But in this book, two things will happen. The pages that are blank, you have to fill in the blank spaces. And at the end, that which is written, you can change that by your karma. If you were supposed to live 70 years, the Lord, in all our books, and the chief is here, none of the Rashi Mala gives more than 80 years for anyone living. But my Nana was 97, Dada was 77, Nani was 80, how much was it? 84. So if the Rashi Mala, the religious text here, no one lives past 80 or whatever, how is it? That is where you change your destiny and you live past the time. As some people live before the time, Akal Mrityu. Somebody was asking me, is it Akal Mrityu because it was accident? It was not, that was just karma. But he has passed the time by 7 years. So today we will say farewell to the physical body, the 5 elements, Panchbhutatva. But we will not say farewell to the memory and the legacy of the man called Kamal. What we do in this life will determine whether we are happy or whether we are sad. Whether we see our way as we go through the corridors of life, or whether we have to struggle every day, every moment. That is dependent on us. There's a bhajan that says, the world is made of hard-hearted people. Patar. Patar means stone. The heart is like stone. Because here I am grieving, but people continuing doing what is normal. But no matter what happens, the sun will rise in the morning. If it doesn't, we're in trouble. So the world goes on, life goes on. They are not stone-hearted. They have to do what is natural. So we do not judge and say, well, you know, I'm suffering, so everybody should feel sorry for me. No. Try to change our destiny. Fill the blank pages with happy memories, with good memories, with divine memories. By chanting the name of the Lord, remembering God, and remember, if God is our friend, then the world will be our friend. If God walks with us, then no one can harm us or do anything to us. We will always rise above the current. We will always be one step ahead. So we will perform our ceremony and then we will continue from there. I will pass over to Father Chief, who will do a bhajan for
वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय। तो अधरम मधुरम वदनम मधुरम नयनम मधुरम हसितम मधुरम हृदयम मधुरम दमनम मधुरम मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरम वचनं मधुरं चरितं मधुरं वसनं मधुरं वलितं मधुरं चरितं मधुरं भ्रमितं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरं वेणुर्मधुरो वेणुर्मधुरः पाणिर्मधुर पादो मधुरो नित्यं मधुरं सत्यं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरं गीतं मधुरं गीतं मधुरं भुक्तं मधुरं सुतं मधुरं रूपं मधुरं तिलकं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरम् तरणं मधुरं हरणं मधुरं रमणं मधुरं वमितं मधुरं शमितं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरं गुञ्जा मधुरा माला मधुरा यमुना मधुरा वीची मधुरा सलिलं मधुरं कमलं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरं गोपी मधुरा लीला मधुरा युक्तं मधुरं भुक्तं मधुरं श्रेष्ठं मधुरं शिष्टं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरं गोपा मधुरा गौ मधुरा यष्टिर्मधुरा शिष्टिर्मधुरा दलितं मधुरं फलितं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरं अधरं मधुरं वदनं मधुरं नयनं मधुरं हसितं मधुरं हृदयं मधुरं गमनं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरम् इति श्रीमद्वल्लभाचार्यं मधुराष्टकं सम्पूर्णं वै मधुराधिपते श्रीकृष्णचन्द्र भगवान् की जय।
गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय 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 Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Shri Radhe Gopal, Gopajuvan Shri Radhe. Shri Radhe Gopal, Gopajuvan Shri Radhe. Gopajuvan Shri Radhe. Gopajuvan Shri Radhe. Jai Shri Radhe. Much could be said, but we have Padajit with us. He has come all the way from New York to say farewell to also his favorite mama. Sometimes we have a funeral, you can't get one pundit sometimes. I remember one Diwali when someone came to me to do a funeral, and they said they went about 15 pundits, and of course the funeral was on Diwali. So I'm thinking, how am I going to be the 16th pundit to tell him I can't make it? How do you change your schedule on Diwali day? But once there is a will, there is a way. And I was able to do the funeral on Diwali day, change my schedule to accommodate. And up to today, that family is eternally grateful. Because the little things that we do in life is what matters. And many people think that, well, I have to come and build a house for somebody for them to say I have done something for them. But neighbor is sitting here, and I know her for a short time. How? Because every morning she passed, she would stop by my mom and prescribe some medicine or bring something for her. And in my mind, I'm saying, this lady just came to CUREPE a couple months to live. And she will bring medicine for my mother, and she wouldn't charge her. And she will spend half an hour giving her advice on different things. And she's a stranger. And sometimes those who are closest to us, they don't have time to even spend a moment of their time with us. See? Sometimes God, the people who are close to us, that we depend on, they might disappoint us. But God never disappoints us. This is why we must not, the Lord says, why fear? Why I am here. Why fear when I am here? Jiska Ram Raksha, Jiska Ram Raksha. Because if God cannot come himself, he will send someone. He will send someone. And if your family who you depend on is not there for you, have no fear. Don't worry. Don't stress yourself out. He will send someone to do what has to be done. In this world, we stress ourselves out and we worry about very little things. That is not important. And the little things that are important, we pass it on the wayside. If I were to ask many of you this morning, did you hug your child? Did you tell them you love them before you send them off to school? Did you tell your husband, well, be careful, or I love you, or give him a hug before you send him off this morning? Or did you quarrel with him and send him off? And if something happened, what will you remember? That you quarreled with him last day. Isn't that so? The small thing in life is like the little knot in the tire. You have a car and you put nice loud colors, your voice say, right, Kamal? And you put a nice loud music system in there, right? Wheels shining, man. Margarine rims something shiny, you can see it, everything on the rims. Everything nice and shiny and perfect. And you're going down the road and some of these cars just bounce up and down with the music, right? And going down the road, man. Nice speed, turbo engine. But you didn't tighten the wheel nuts in the wheel, and the wheel fly out, and what will happen to you? You might lose your life. The wheel nuts is the little things in life that matters, that many people don't pay attention to. For instance, you have loud music and nice paint and all this, but the tires are not tightened, the wheel nuts are not tightened, and you will lose your life because of that. Pay attention to the small things in life, because we only live once. We only live once in this life. You may have existed in the past, Lord Krishna says, we will exist in the future. For Arjun, but you see, this birth, do what you can do in this birth, right here, right now. Jo aaj karna so aaj karna. What you have to do tomorrow, do it today. And what you have to do today, do it up now. Because time leaves on no one. So live life, enjoy life. Take time to smell the rose. Live, laugh, love, learn. so that at the end of it all, you can liberate, you can free yourself. For Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, he says, free yourself from yourself by yourself. I am here Akela. Jai bhi Akela. We came alone and we are going alone. Therefore, if we depend on no one in this world except Bhagavan, we have no problem, no stress, no worries. And at the end of it all, we're going back home to home. No stress, no worries. Yes? So, to be happy in life, it is simple. You want to be happy? Make others happy. You want life to be stress-free? Then don't sweat the small stuff. Leave things up to God. Right? Sometimes, we get all of us to get angry and little things might, irritate us and things, but it must not be the norm. It must be the exception, once in a while, not all the time, every day like this. You're on edge, somebody really watch your hand, you're ready to, no, this must be the exception. So I will ask Kanachi to say a few words, and then we'll have a eulogy for 2 minutes, and then we'll proceed from there. So, Kanachi, as I said, we are lucky to get one Pandit sometime to do a funeral. Today we have 2. Maybe Pandit Nagin might join us at the panel. So that alone shows it is only karma that things like these, don't think about it. Just see what is happening to yourself and then judge from there the individual that lies for us. Thank you.
Boy Vrindavan, Bihari Lala Ki Jai. To all my family members present here and friends and relatives of our bereaved family, I say Hare Krishna, Sitaram to each and every one of you. Today we have joined to do the Antesh Sanskar or final rites for not my mom but my mom's nanny. This is the brother of my nanny, and even though we call him Kamal Maraj as well, this is what we heard our mom saying. And that's why everyone says Kamal Maraj, even though this is grandchildren or his great grand. So I echo my uncle Pandit Anand in what he said. When I came yesterday and I spoke with a few of my aunts and cousins here, they kept in one voice saying that Kamal Maraj was the one who was very favorable to everyone. He would walk and say hi to everyone, and he would always be jovial, joyous, and no matter what you say to him, he would always smile, and he would not say anything negative. He was always, I would say, cool, easy going. And that's what we remember about him, and that's what I want all of us to keep in our minds in this moment of sadness, and as we grieve, let us think about this to give us that support that he was a great joy in our lives, and let's hold on to that joy. Today also I want to bring the condolences and the best prayer and condolences to Auntie Patsy and family of Kamal Maraj and the extended family from my cousins in North America. Ambika in Canada and her family send their best wishes, their condolences. My aunts in Baltimore, Auntie Petty and Auntie Tony, they send their regards and their condolences as well, and the cousins. So as I join with all of them, I want to say that people may at times, when death occurs suddenly, think that death is unfortunate or untimely. Is there such a thing? And I would like to dispel this doubt to bring some sort of strength and solace to my relatives and family members on this day. Bhagavan says in the scripture, in a beautiful verse, Ayu karma cha viktam cha vidya mithaname vacha panchaitani isujjante garvastasye hidehina. That 5 things. Ayu, duration of life. Karma, the type of inclinations one will have. the type of actions one will perform. Vitta, wealth. Vidya, knowledge or learning. Nidhan mevacha. How and when you will die has already been determined when God places garbhastesu, places the individual soul in the womb of the mother. At conception, it is already determined. How is this? This is called our product. What we are, karma, we are working out in this lifetime. Where does product comes from? Product comes from our actions in our previous life called our sanchit karma. Sanchit is the storehouse of uncountable actions, good and bad, which we have performed in our uncountable previous lifetimes. And in this lifetime, that which we have to work out, the product is already determined the moment of conception. So, who can change this? Who can change product? No one. Narad Muni is telling to Himavan, the father of Parvati, Kahamuni Isa Himavan Tasunu, listen, O Himavan, father of Parvati, father of Shankar Bhagwan. Kahamuni Isa Himavan Tasunu, Jo Vidhi Likha Lilaj. What Brahma, the creator, has written on the forehead of an individual soul. It's not written in any book and found or Lala, written in the forehead. Deva Tanuj Narnagamuni Koname Tanihar. No Dev, no Devta, Danuj, no Rakshas, Nar, no man, Muni, no saint, no one can change that. That is product. So all that has to be destined, that cannot be changed. What is in our hands? Destiny, the future. That karma is called Kriyaman karma. So you and I, whilst we still have health and strength, we have to fix the future product and make the destiny good by performing the right actions. That action filled with bhakti or love for God. So there is no such thing as untimely death or unfortunate death. That has been ordained. Garbhastesu Devina, one moment of conception. All these things have already been determined through our sanchit karma. It's called prarabdha. Nobody can change that. So today, holding on to that, life has come to an end. Chittijal pavak gagan samira pancharitya adhama shahira. Five elements are there now. Fire has left, the body is cold. Air has left, there is no breath in the body. There is earth, there is water, and there is space that is taking up. We will soon take this to the cremation site, and there we will light the fire with the respective mantras. That this remaining element, what happens? Earth becomes earth. Water evaporates with the heat, goes into clouds, fall back as water. The space that the body is taking up goes and becomes one with the earth. When we take the ashes on the next day, Asti Sanjay, and we would take the ashes into the Ganges. Ganga is everywhere. Ganges is not only in India, Ganges is wherever you call Gangama. When you go in any body of water, you think of Gangama, that's Ganges. So we take the ashes to the Ganges. It becomes one with the earth. So then what dies? If all the elements go to the elements and the soul begins the journey on the 13th day towards Yamlok, to Bhagavan Shri Krishna and all Dharmaraj for judgment, as we know it, in Sanatana Dharma, what dies? Nothing dies. The elements go back to the elements, the soul goes back to Bhagavan for judgment. Based on his Kriyaman Karma, his actions performed in this lifetime, he gets the reward of God accordingly. So what we are briefing is merely our relationships, that attachment formed to our various relationships between a husband and a wife, child and father, brother and sister, grandfather, whatever relationship we share, friend, the father-in-law, that relationship is what we are mourning and we are grieving, that relationship and that association. But as I said earlier, we can keep that association and relationship in our hearts. Keep that joy that He has given to you whilst alive flowing in your thoughts and your heart, so that the grieving process will be much easier and palatable, and we will understand through these few words from our scriptures and philosophical points that nothing really dies. He is going on the journey to Bhagavan, and there Bhagavan will take care of him according to the karma and according to your karma. This, after that, rituals which we will perform with the disposal of the body, cremation, dastatra, called shaving, sapindi, bhandara, and monthly and fortnightly offering of pindars as the soul makes the journey to Yamlo. So you all have taken the name and the sankalp to perform this, and it's commendable that we have 5 of you to do the part and to pray and beseech in the name of Kamal Maraj to reach to Bhagavan Shri Krishna. Thank you all very much. Bole Vrindavan, Bihari Lal Ki Jai. I pass you back over to Pandit Anand.
Thank you, Sheikh. At this point in time, we'll invite Savi to say a few words for 2 minutes, and then another family member who will say something short also on behalf of the family. And they have, come from all the way to North America and all these places to be here to say farewell. So we give them the opportunity. So please stay with us. Savi.
Sitaram, good morning, Reverend Panditji, friends and family of Uncle Kamal. My name is Savi and I'm one of his many nieces and nephews. On behalf of the entire Maraj family, I want to thank you all for being here today. My uncle, fondly known as Uncle Coffee, meant a lot to many people, and your presence here today signifies just that. It speaks volumes about the love and friendship he had not only with us, his family, but with all his friends, neighbors, and ex-colleagues. No one is very certain about his nickname he had, but Uncle Cock was born on the 11th of February 1949, son of Rukmin and Mahesh, both deceased, and brother to 5 siblings. I was told that he lived previously in Freeport, then Cunupia, and finally here in CUREPE. At the time of his passing, Uncle lived a full life of 76 years. In that, he was very fortunate indeed. Not only that, but he was also enjoying good health. I, along with all of my cousins, grew up with Uncle Cock, attending many of our family gatherings. He would always be there. For someone who had such a big stature, such as him, he had the quietest presence you could imagine. Many of us would attest that he was a calm, kind, gentle soul. Indeed, he was. His smile was his answer most times. He, together with his wife and life partner, Auntie Patsy, were an inseparable pair. Together for over 40 years, they were the epitome of happiness as a couple, no matter their little quarrels. The love that was shared between the two was limitless. I remember when I was younger troubling Auntie Patsy, so what you cook for him today? 99% of the times you would hear curry and roti, one of his favorites. One person very close to him mentioned that he loved the street foods, your boiled chana, sauce, oiled down cutters. So in other words, he knew and loved the good food. The family members all say that he had a great passion for liming. I was told that he was the original party planner. He loved to lime. He would get up in the morning and start the calls to all his friends about where the lime was, who bringing what, and what they're going to do. It is difficult to put into words how much Uncle Cock really meant to us. Many of his immediate family said he was the most loving father, husband, brother, uncle there was. He always wanted to have a good time. Vanessa, his daughter, said that Dada especially loved spending time and looking after his grandchildren, in particular Sonia and Avita. Little Avita was just a few days ago asking her mom for her Dada, as he was the one who used to read to her. Indeed sad. Also sad is his 2 sons, Dave and Pernell, having to travel home from the States father, friend, and confidant. You will be deeply missed, but we take solace in the fact that you will guide us in spirit. We love you now and forever. Om Satguru Jai Shri Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you, Savi. So we'll invite the lady's daughter to say a few words briefly, and then we'll take it from here.
Namaskar, Sita Ram. I'm Pamela Subran. I'm the daughter of Lady, and we came from New York for the funeral of Dada. We are so sorry, and on behalf of my family in New York, my sister Sarah, my brother Glenn, and their families, we express gratitude and praise for Dada. What a significant loss to the family. I just like to read something. If love alone could have saved you, Dada, you never would have died. In life, we loved you dearly. In death, we love you still. In our hearts, you hold a place no one else can ever fill. They say there is a reason. They say that time will heal. But neither time nor reason will change the way we feel. We want to tell you something, so there won't be any doubt. You are so wonderful to think of, but so hard to be without. It broke our hearts to lose you, but you didn't go alone. Past loved ones came to guide you. The day Bhagwan took you home. Thank you. Sitaram.
So we are so here to say we have, these are not intended speakers, but you know, as we go along, people just think that they have to say something. So people understand individual, as I said, who is lying here. So Sonia's daughter, so she will say quickly, granddaughter, a few words, and then we'll move on.
I know that I'm not the only one who is in grief right now. I know that there are lots of people who knew him, and I'm very sad, especially my grandmother. But he was a very honest and good soul. I remember when I was younger, I did not like to bathe at all. So my grandmother would chase me with a belt, telling me I have to go to the bathroom, and the only person who would stop from getting to me was Grandpa. I would go and he would hold me behind him, and he would take the lash from me. And he was so kind, so kind. And I remember asking him to take me to the grocery to get snacks so that me and my siblings could come home and eat while watching a TV show. And when we reached there, he would say pick up 2 things, and I would pick up 5 or 10 things. And he was so good to us. And I remember crying and saying, I don't want to go home, I want to stay, because I could stay up all night. And I remember battling with my mother, and he would say, leave her. And so he was very kind. There was nothing that he ever did that was unkind and was wrong. He was very kind, and he would always sacrifice himself for his loved ones. And I would always go when he was eating, and if he had cucumbers, I would steal it. And I thought he would get upset, but he would just give me all after. And so generous.
Thank you, Sonia. So, what does life hold for us devotees? Memories. I have a little platform that says, that we did not realize that we were making memories. We did not realize that we were making memories. We just thought that we were having fun. But in having fun and living life, you are making memories that will remain with you. You know, I remember a song that says, memories don't leave like people do, they always stay with you. we have. The house will go, if they last 20 years, 50 years, 100 years, but it will be destroyed in time. The nice car will, someday it will be destroyed, it will rot to the ground, everything will go. But memories, that's what we have left. So, let us make beautiful memories. Let us cherish the time that we have with each other. Because when we have lost the opportunity, the spoken word never comes back, the short arrow. If you hurt someone, you can go and say sorry after. They might say, okay, I forgive you, but you cannot erase the hurt that you have already done. The damage is already done. It is like an arrow that you plunge in the heart of someone. It will go in there and they will remain alive. But if you try to take it out because you are sorry that you shot them, that is when you will kill them and try to take the arrow out. You cannot undo the wrong and the negative things that we have done. So to conclude, a beautiful bhajan. Lord Krishna says that we are not the body, we are soul. We are the Atma. And that which is not born cannot die. The soul is not born. Therefore, we are not grieving for the soul, but for the body. And the body is made of 5 elements, Panch Bhutattva, and the 5 elements go back from where they came. For matter is neither created nor destroyed. It is a law in science. Therefore, what are we grieving for? Even the body will remain right here, and it will continue its existence. So therefore, there is no end to our existence. So, as I said, the pages that are blank, fill them with happy memories, with memories that we will cherish when we grow old and we are sitting in our rocking chair. This is what we will think of. So we have pleasant memories and thoughts to think of when the time comes. We are like a bird trapped in the cage. The bird wants to be free. We are not this body. Therefore, free yourself from yourself, by yourself. Do that which will free the Atma from this cage. And you know, funny, it is called a rib cage. The rib cage and the Atma is trapped right here, like a bird trapped in the cage. Someone will say, how are you going? Oh, I'm fine. But you are less than fine. In fact, you are more distressed than fine. But how are you going? Oh, everything all right, I'm going fine. Beater in our way. Outside you may seem to smile, but in the heart, beater Roi. Roi means you are crying. It says, beater Roi, beater Roi, tera dard jaane koi, tera dard jaane koi, pinjre ke panche अपनी कहानी तेरी भी पंछी क्या जिंदगानी ओ कर न सके तू अपनी कहानी तेरी भी पंछी क्या जिंदगानी रे बिना तेरी कटार की आंसू में गर्म होए तेरा दर्द न जाने कोई तेरा दर्द न जाने कोई पिंजरे के पंछी तेरा दर्द न जाने जिंदगानी दी बिना न तेरी कथा लिखी आंसू में कलम छुपोई. Asu means the tears, kalam is the pen. Many people's life story is written with the pen that is filled with the tears of pain and sorrow and disappointment and stress and distress and all of the negatives. But you can change that. This person who is attached to the spring will never suffer for water. But people like to be where the river is pushing things forward. The dry river. Only when the rain falls, it will be filled and pushing forward. The time will come and it will have no water. But the spring may be slow in running, but you will never thirst for water because it will always have water. So, do not let your life story be written by tears of sadness, but rather with tears of joy. These are the two types of tears that we shed. The scientists have done a little experiment, and they have tested the tears that you cry when you are sad, and they have tested the tears that you cry when you are happy. The tears you cry when you are sad has toxins, poison in it, impurities from the body. When you are happy, it does not contain that toxin. So to detoxify, you have to spend a lot of money, right? So this is why a good cry now and then, nothing is wrong with that. Someone say, you sure you are going to do this funeral? I think I've done good so far. I think I can continue like this. You know? A good cry now and then in sadness is not bad. It gets rid of the poisons inside of the body. But if we continue crying in sadness all the time, it will damage the heart also. So we must cry tears of joy, because emotions cause tears. When you are happy, you cry. Likewise, when you are sad. So birth and death is like this. Which one is better? Which one is better? They both have their benefits, and they both have their negatives. So we have to weigh everything in life and decide which path we are going to go. चुपके रोने वाली रखना छिपा के दिल की चाहती ये पत्थर के देश है पगली कोई ना तेरा होई. Here I am crying, but no one is feeling sorry for me. ये पत्थर है देश है पगली. I have crazy people पगली in this nation, in this world. पत्थर, their heart like stone. But as I said, we should not judge the world, rather judge ourselves. If we are sad, it is because maybe we have done something wrong, or maybe we haven't done what is right, so that we will be happy. It says, चुपके रोने वाले रखना छिपा के दिल की छाले ये पत्थर का देश है पगली कोई न तेरा हो तेरा दर्द न जाने कोई तेरा दर्द न जाने कोई पिंजरे के पंजे तेरा दर्द न जाने कोई तेरा दर्द न जाने कोई. So the ball is in our court. What we want for ourselves, then if you want good for yourself, then wish the same for others. If you want to be happy, make others happy. And if you want to find liberation, find peace, to go back home to God, then keep Him close. Keep Him close. Him, her, whatever. Or rather, keep yourself close to divinity. What you give in this world is exactly what you get. So as I said, do not give poison to others and expect to get amrit or nectar in return. If you want nectar, to liberate yourself, to live forever in eternal bliss, Param Anand, Ati Anand, Prem Anand, in oneness with that Supreme Lord who is Anand, who is the source of all bliss, Satachit Anand, the truth consciousness and bliss, then share that happiness, share that bliss, become blissful while we are alive. For we do not need to die to go heaven. Heaven could be right here. Likewise, this could be our heaven. The choice is yours. The choice is mine. Therefore, right here, right now, while our dear Kamal is lying there, we cannot change anything or undo anything that we have done. There is no more time left. But you and I, we are here still. We have time to turn our lives around, to do that which we must do, and to realize that life is but an empty dream until we realize the Supreme. Life is but an empty dream until we realize the Supreme. Without God in our life, we are just vessels making noise. With God in our life, we are vessels that will be filled with water that someone who is thirsty could partake of. This is up to us. It is not up to God or anyone. It is up to us. So we will conclude at this point in time. The other family members will want to come now and put a flower. There is no need to do arati anymore. Just put a flower and say a little prayer whilst we continue to chant for the next 5 minutes, and then we will proceed to leave. So we will ask my other cousins and nieces and nephews and all the others who would like to come and put a flower. Let us try to be orderly. We don't have to rush, because Mamu is not going anywhere, so we don't need to rush. And we have until 12 o'clock to reach the cremation site, which is just 5 minutes away. So while we say we'll be leaving at this time, take our time, come on my right side, you will come back to the right side, and we will take on the left side, so it will be orderly. So we will continue to chant, and then we will take it from there. So join with me in chant. Hari Sundar Nanda Mukunda, Hari Narayana Hari Om. Hari Sundar Nanda Mukunda, Hari Narayana Hari Om. Hari Keshava Hari Govinda, Hari Narayana Hari Om. Hari Keshava Hari Govinda, Hari Narayana Hari Om. So Hari Sundar Nanda Mukunda, Hari Narayana Hari Om. Hari Sundar Nanda Mukunda, Hari Narayana Hari Om. Barwari Murari Rani, Govardhan Giridhari. Barwari Murari Rani, Govardhan Giridhari. Nit Nit Navmadhan Chori, Gopi Varmari. Nit Nit Navmadhan Chori, Gopi Varmari. Hari Sundar Nanda Mukunda, Hari Narayana Hari Om. Hari Sundar Nanda Mukunda, Hari Narayana Hari Om. Hari Keshava Hari Govinda, Hari Narayana Hari Om. Hari Keshava Hari Govinda, Hari Narayana Hari Om. Hari Sundar Nanda Mukunda, Hari Narayana Hari Om. 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 Aare Kanare Gokul ke pyare, Nacho re Gao re Rasan chalo re. Aare Kanare Gokul ke pyare, Nacho re Gao re Rasan chalo re. Oh Hari Sundar Nanda Mukunda, Hari Narayana Hari Om. Hari Sundar Nanda Mukunda, Hari Narayana Hari Om. 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 Oh Hari Narayana Hari Om. Hari Narayana Hari Om. Radhe Radhe Bol, Radhe Radhe Bol, Barsa बरसाने दो, हे मुख से राधे राधे बोल। ब्रह्माचल पर्वत बनवायो, ब्रह्माचल पर्वत बनवायो, राधा बोल के मुख से राधे राधे बोल। ओ राधे राधे बोल, राधे राधे बोल, बरसाने दो, के मुख से राधे राधे बोल। ओ राधे राधे बोल, राधे राधे बोल, बरसाने दो, के मुख से राधे राधे बोल। के मुख से राधे राधे बोल, के मुख से राधे राधे बोल। जय श्री राधे।
Water. Yes, sir.
इतना तो करुणा स्वामी, जब तन से निकले। इतना तो करुणा स्वामी, जब तन से निकले। गोविंद नाम लेकर जब तन से निकले। इतना तो करुणा स्वामी, जब तन से निकले। जब तन से निकले, जब तन से निकले। ओम नारायणाय कृष्णाय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। नारायणाय कृष्णाय परमात्माय नमः। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो। 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 गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल। गोविंद बोलो राधा रमण हरि। गोविंद बोलो राधा रमण हरि। गोविंद बोलो राधा रमण हरि। गोविंद बोलो राधे 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 राधे। 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 गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो। गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो।
Radha-raman Hari Govinda Govinda Radha-raman Hari Govinda Hari Rama 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 Hari Hari Oh Hari Krishna 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 Hari Hari Oh Hari Rama 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 Hari Hari Oh Hari Krishna 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 Hari Hari Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare
这两个。